It's Monday, and that means we're joined by our political analyst, Harvey Kronberg of the Cornyn Report, for an in-depth look at the Senate race. Harvey, welcome back to Capitol Tonight.
Always a pleasure, James. Good to be with you.
So let's start with the Republicans. Senator John Cornyn, there's a report out there that he's hauling in a ton of money, millions and millions of dollars, with the Senate leadership backing him. What does it say that he's having to spend so much money to stay in the Senate?
He's stuck in place. His numbers haven't moved. Everybody else's numbers have moved a little bit, but frankly, the race has been frozen for the last 2 or 3 weeks, despite enormous amounts of money having already been spent. What they can only hope is that primary voters are just now beginning to start paying attention, and TV is going to begin to matter.
And Harvey, let's stick with Cornyn, because he told the Houston Chronicle last week that he talked to President Trump and told him that an endorsement by Trump would really change the race. But we know Cornyn's been talking about this possible endorsement almost the entire campaign. Is it getting down to desperation time for him to get that and really be a game changer?
That obviously would reconfigure the race completely. I don't see the president endorsing any of the other two candidates. The fact that he hasn't yet endorsed the incumbent, despite the full-throated support by the Senate Republicans, is somewhat surprising, frankly, because the numbers are for controlling the Senate are pretty darn close right now.
Let's turn over to the Democrats, because we heard last week that the Democrats, James Talarico and Jasmine Crockett, will have their first debate later this month on January 24th. How important is this debate for both sides, and what does each side need to do?
I think that Jasmine Crockett is pretty well established inside the Democratic base. She's a known quantity. Talarico is still being discovered. Her numbers are probably near her high water mark. James Talarico, there's a lot of independents or undecided, if you believe the polling. He has actually more room to move, so he has more to gain from this debate. We'll see how it works out, but also, Crockett has not yet demonstrated much in the way of policy chops. She's been combative towards the president, obviously. Talarico has been more fully dimensioned, fully fleshed out when it comes to policy issues, so the debate may help him in that regard.
Well, let's talk about that, because there is some debate on social media. We saw some celebrity podcasters weighing in last week about Crockett and whether or not she is, quote unquote, electable in the state. Now, we know she's got tremendous name ID, but there was that question about electability. How do you see that playing out as we get really into crunch time in this campaign?
For Democrats to win, they have to unite 4 or 5 different elements inside their party, plus be able to lure crossover votes and independent votes. Crockett has essentially, I think, siloed herself into kind of this black hip hop or rap style Instagram presence, which is going to be all over the Republicans will use consistently. Whereas Talarico, it's easier for me to visualize Latino males voting for an Anglo male than it is for an African-American woman. It's going to be easier for him to unite the various elements of the party, and he's non-threatening. If Crockett wins the nomination, I think she's going to essentially increase Republican turnout. They're going to be able to frighten Republicans with her easier than they are with Talarico, who speaks scripture, frankly,
Harvey,
and is very non-threatening.
What I've seen, and social media is not real life, but what I've seen is people who support Crockett saying, well, if Talarico can't get his name ID to beat Crockett, how's he going to beat a Republican? And then they bring up this question of race, which we see in politics. Here's another white candidate. Why doesn't he just get behind Crockett, who's a rising young black Democrat?
Well, frankly, there simply aren't enough Democrats by themselves to win. He's got more room to move up inside the Democratic primary, and he is going to be non-threatening to Republicans. I think Republican turnout would be suppressed. It's already depressed. The MAGA movement is fragmented. Independents and moderate Republicans are alienated from the president. And frankly, the president's going to be the only issue in this campaign. The question is who can lure crossover votes. Remember, Democrats are only about 40% of the general election base. Being able to get across that 50% line is going to require independents and some moderate Republicans. It just seems to me that Talarico is better positioned to be able to lure those voters.
All right, that's Harvey Kronberg with the expert analysis. Thanks for your time, Harvey.
My pleasure. Thanks.